I offer my pranams to our Gurudev. Om Vishnu Pada Statata Sri Srimad Sri Bhaktivedanta. No. Hey, what does Salih did? Hey, can you come here? First of all, I offer pranams to Gurudev. Hey, Ajudananda, 1 minute. Om Vishnu Pada Sri Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami. All Vaishnavas, Vaishnavis. Dandavat pranams. Hey, Ajudananda, 1 minute. Come. So, what does this mean? Okay. Can everyone on Zoom hear as well? I hope so. I don't know what's happening. Okay. So, yes, we didn't know that Pujapad Maharaj would give a class today. So we scheduled my class quite a few days ago. And okay, so is Malati there? Or Anuradha?
Yes, Gurudev.
Okay, one lady's having trouble with her microphone. Anyway, I can't do all these things now. Where's Malati? She should be here. Can you contact her? So anyway, we didn't know that Maharaj was giving class also today. So second time, no harm. Hare Krishna. So today is the appearance day of Nrsimha Dev, Bhagavan Nrsimha Dev. So he appears on the Caturdasi. Caturdasi is the day of destruction. Like Shiva, he also appears on this day, as does Nrsimha Dev. But Nrsimha Dev never destroy anything good. He destroy all obstacles to devotion. Therefore in Jai Dwani we say Sarva Vigya Vanasankari Sri Nrsimha Dev. All glories to Nrsimha Dev who destroys all impediments. And when impediments are destroyed, Niraparad Nam Lord Pai Krishna. When one has no impediments, no offense, no anartha, then he gets Krishna Prem. So this morning we went for darshan of Nrsimha Dev at the Yoga Pit there. Also today we went to ISKCON, there is Ugra Nrsimha. So very sweet day. Devotees everywhere fasted until sunset, moonrise, which is at the time, sunset actually, which is at the time of Nrsimha Dev's appearance. So try not to repeat too much of what Maharaj said, because most devotees were hearing that class. History of Nrsimha, history is there, begins long time ago in Satyayug, in beginning of creation. That the four Kumaras were previous impersonalists, Brahmavadis. But hearing instructions from their father and guru, Lord Brahma, they gave up that and developed a greed to have darshan of Lord Narayan. So as they entered Vaikuntha, there are many gates. This is also described in Brihad Bhagavatamrita. So finally they passed through 6 gates. At the 7th gate, which is the gate of the internal residence of Nrsimha Dev, of Bhagavan Narayan, then 2 guards were there, Jai and Vijay. So not that anyone can just enter the abode of Lord Narayan, because maybe he's doing some confidential pastimes with Lakshmi. Maybe he's taking rest. So therefore, everyone cannot enter. But these 2 servants also had a desire. They knew that their Lord Narayan, Bhagavan, has all 6 opulences. Aishwarya, Samagasya, Viryasya, Yasasa, Sriya. Jnano, Varaga, Ititam, Bhaganam. Unlimited beauty, strength, fame, knowledge, opulence, and renunciation. What is the use of strength if one cannot fight? Therefore, even though Bhagavan is complete, still he is not complete unless incompleteness is also inconceivably within him. So Narayan was thinking, what is the use of my strength if I have no one to fight? But in Vaikuntha, there is no one to fight, because all are devotees. So Bhagavan had a desire, and Jai Vijay, they are servants. The servant always fulfills the desire of the master. So they were thinking, we are servants, our desire, our mission is to serve. What the master wants, we must fulfill. Therefore, how we can fulfill his desire to fight? In order to do that, we will have to develop the mentality of demons. Because you cannot pretend to fight and really fight. To fight someone, you have to hate them. And the demons hate the Lord, present within their own bodies as well as in the bodies of everyone. Therefore, they also had a desire, if we could become demons, then we could fight the Lord with full enthusiasm. So Bhagavan had desire, the devotee had the desire. So the Icha Shakti, the Yogamaya, she fulfills the desires of Bhagavan and the devotees. So it so happened, as the four children, the four Kumaras, tried to enter into the internal gate, that time Jai Vijay, performing their duty, stopped them. You cannot enter here. Then they become very angry. The four Kumaras. What mentality is this? You are meant to be residents of the spiritual world of Vaikuntha, which is beyond duality. Yet even here you are thinking, he is servant of the Lord, he is not servant, he is welcome, he is not welcome, he is good, he is bad, he is our person, he is an outsider. This attitude of discordance, this is the mentality of demons. Therefore, it is not fit that you reside here pretending to be devotees. We curse you to become demons for 3 lives. So just as that curse was offered, Bhagavan himself came out. So attractive, so handsome, all good qualities. When the fragrance of tulsi mixed with sandalwood, Yasadavinda Chalanadavinda, when that sandalwood fragrance entered the nose of the four Kumaras, their mentality changed to that of devotion. Therefore, they gave up their previously desired goal of liberation and desired to become servants. So Bhagavan said, even though he had power to renege the curse, dissolve the curse, he said, no. Even if my own arm acts against my devotees, I must chop it off. No, because their offense is my offense. Therefore, I approve of the curse. Therefore, the 2 souls, Jai and Vijay, immediately covered by Yogamaya and cast down onto the earth planet. Falling like meteors, those 2 souls entered the womb of Diti. Diti and Aditi, two sisters and co-wives of Kasyap Rishi. Aditi had also been cursed because everything has rules. So procreation also has rules. It's forbidden to procreate with one's wife at sunset, at dusk. This time is considered very inauspicious. Why? Makesh, we have to add people who are joining the class, right? So it's considered inauspicious because that time Shiva is moving here and there. So Shiva is the Lord of, he is Bhuteshwar, the Lord of the ghosts. So those people who no one wants, Shiva is so gracious, he also gives them shelter. That time he wanders at sunrise and sunset. And those who are sleeping, he gives disturbance. That's why one should not sleep to the Brahma Muhurta. One should wake up to avoid that. And those who are having illegal sexual intercourse at that time, he gives those ghosts and goblins, he gives them a womb to reside in. That way they can get human form again. So Diti, seeing that her co-wife Aditi had many children, she was lusty and desirous of a child. Therefore, if wife approaches husband for child, husband cannot deny. That is, husband cannot deny. So Diti approached him, I want a child. So Kasyap Rishi, he was a yogi, not devotee, therefore his wife was attractive. could not check himself, even though he knew it was forbidden. He slept with her, and through this agency, these two demons entered the womb of Diti. Kasap Rishi immediately could understand what happened, lamented. He took bath, chanted Gayatri, Haribol, although no Haribol for him. In this way, these two children, these two demons, Jai and Vijay, came from her womb of Diti. They were twin brothers, Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakasipu. Maharaj little bit told the history today, so I would not repeat that too much. So Hiranyaksha, Aksha means eyes, glance. Hiran means gold. So therefore he was always looking, where is wealth? Where is wealth? Hiranyaksha. So he tried to steal the whole earth planet for his own enjoyment. As therefore Bhagavan appeared in a special incarnation from the nose of Lord Brahma and finished him. So when the other brother, Hiranyakasipu means women and soft bed, gold and soft pillows, soft beds. Soft beds are good for sexual enjoyment. Therefore, this is the demonic mentality. How to enjoy this world, how to enjoy this creation. Therefore, Saraswati Thakur says, no, Kanak and Kamini. Wealth and women, these are the property of Madhav. They are not our property. So all wealth, all women for the enjoyment of Krishna. This is the devotee mentality. Unfortunately, Hiranyakasipu was devoid of this. So he was very angry because Vishnu had killed his brother. Therefore, he thought, Maharaj said this Vishnu is like a child, Bahurupini. Like, he always changes many forms, hard to say where he lives or what he does. So, like Hiranyaksha also searched everywhere for Vishnu, but did not search within himself, therefore he could not find him. So in the same way, Hiranyakasipu began blaspheming Lord Vishnu. He is like a child, a plaything in the hands of the demigods. No, before Vishnu was neutral, but now he's given up his neutrality like a child and become favorable to the demigods. Therefore, I must take his life. And in Vedic culture, one offers water and other gifts to the forefathers. This is called tarpan or pinda. My brother was very fond of drinking blood. Therefore, I will offer him the blood of Lord Vishnu as a sacrifice, as a pinda, as a tarpan. But he thought Vishnu is very powerful. How can I finish him? So he thought, and who will I worship? So he thought Brahma, Lord Brahma, he is the creator. But of course, Brahma get all his potency from where? No one else but Lord Krishna. And whose things he making? This also Krishna's Maya Shakti. So Brahma just like an instrument, a nimit karan, secondary cause. So he thought, but anyway, Hiranyakasipu was thinking, I worship Lord Brahma because he is the chief of all the demigods. He is the creator of this world. So with great determination, he began worship. How? Standing on his toes, with his glance to the sky, with his hands raised, without eating, without drinking. He performed severe austerities for hundreds of thousands of years. We go 12 hours without eating and drinking, and how we felt today, no? But Hiranyakasipu for hundreds of thousands, 7 kalpas. Such an enormous 7 days of Lord Brahma. So he did austerities. So while Maharaj not spoke too much about this, he did not speak about this today. So this all 7th canto is like an ocean. Who can finish in 1 hour, 2 hours? So while there's 2 histories here I want to little speak. That while he was performing austerities, then his wife wanted a son before he started. So she knew, if my husband can somehow think about Vishnu, then a very good child would come. The question comes, how such a great demon like Hiranyakasipu could give birth to such a great devotee? As he went to perform austerities, the demigods tried to distract him. Therefore, demigods like Narad and others took form of small birds and began chanting Vishnu, 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 in his ear. So he was trying to meditate, but this Vishnu, Vishnu attacking him like the striking of a thunderbolt. He became angry, tried to kill the birds, could not catch them. With disturbed mind, he came back to his wife, who asked, "Oh, my dear husband, how you returned so quickly from austerities?" So Hiranyakashipu told the story. What happened? These birds chanted Vishnu, Vishnu. So wife wondered that if her husband would think of Vishnu and chant his name, she knew he'd be purified. Again and again during the day, how the bird said, was it Vishnu, Vishnu or Vishnu, Vishnu? So again and again he described, I told you, Vishnu, Vishnu. So again and again chanting Vishnu, Vishnu. That time he lay with his wife, and while absorbed in thoughts of the name of Vishnu, he procreated a child. That child was the great devotee Prahlad Maharaj. So while he was performing austerities in the upper regions of the universe, the demigods thought a stitch in time saves 9. If the father is a great demon, then this child will also be a massive demon. So Indra and the demigods, seeing that the demons were without a leader, they attacked the demons, and took Kayadu, the wife of Hiranyakasipu, and went to kill the child in the womb. That time Narad Muni came and said, you cannot kill him. He is protected by the arms of Vishnu, Krishna Linga the Vigraha. He's embraced by Krishna. He is a great Mahabhagavat. Therefore, you cannot do anything. So hearing this, Indra did parikrama of Prahlad Maharaj in the womb. I have heard it said by doing parikrama of Prahlad in the womb, Indra received enough Sakriti to have darshan of Krishna when he lifted Govardhan. Anyway, so while her husband was performing austerities, she was out without protection. Narad Muni took that lady to his ashram, and for 60,000 years he spoke Harikatha. And while in the womb, the child Prahlad heard everything. As a result, when he was born as a great devotee, Mahabhagavat from birth. It may be noticed up to this time he had not even seen his guru. Therefore, this is proof relation with the guru is through Harikatha. Darshan of the guru is through Harikatha. Some people think, darshan of the guru is by peeling potatoes or collecting so many donations. One may do all that, but have no connection with Gurudev's alokik, transcendental Harikatha, then that would just be some material arrangement. So one should be careful always in that regard. So Bhagavatam described Prahlad sometimes was stunned like a person haunted by a ghost as he was absorbed in samadhi of Bhagavan. Sometimes he would weep in separation when Bhagavan would appear. Sometimes he would laugh. Externally, some people thought him to be a madman, but he is not. He was Param Bhagavat Mahabhagavat. So Prahlad was the youngest of the children. 4 sons Hiranyakasipu had. But Prahlad was the favorite and most qualified. So Hiranyakasipu was thinking, after me, this boy will be king. Hiranyakasipu, meanwhile, had performed his austerities for tens of thousands of years. His body became eaten. All the flesh of his body was eaten away by insects, and his entire body was covered by a termite mound. Some fire was coming from his head. The demigods were scorched. They went to Satyaloka, the planet of Lord Brahma, and Brahma intervened. He saw the position of Hiranyakasipu. Even Brahma became stunned and said, no one in the past, no one in the future will ever perform austerities like you. O Kasyap Nandan, son of Kasyap, what do you want? So Hiranyakasipu, then Lord Brahma sprinkled his body with water from his kamandalu. His body became like a thunderbolt, powerful and effulgent. What benediction you want? Oh, Lord, I want to be immortal. Brahma said, that is not possible. Even I have to give up this body. How can I give something I do not possess? choose another benediction. So Hiranyakashipu, using his intelligence, I want the benediction, I cannot be killed in daytime or nighttime, in the sky or in the ground, by anything living or dead, by any of your creation, by any man or any animal, by any of the 12 months in the year. Giving the benediction, I cannot be killed by any weapon. What else? By anything living or dead. Many, many benedictions he asked in one benediction. So Brahma said, Tatastu. So Hiranyakashipu, thinking himself to be immortal, he thought Vishnu is very strong. Why? Because all the Vaishnavas are feeding him so much. Therefore, he created the program of Anti to destroy the Vedic culture. The Vedic culture is based on service of the cows and service of the Brahmins. So he ordered to destroy all the temples of Vishnu, stop the chanting of Harinam, kill the cows, prohibit yagya, cut down all mango and aswat trees, all these auspicious trees, cut them down. In this way he began his demonic anti-Vedic program to make Vishnu weak. He thought the root of Vishnu is the root of the demigods is Vishnu. The demigods get their strength from Vishnu. If I cut Vishnu, the demigods will become hopeless, weakened. In this way, he began his killing sadhus, destroying cows, temples, causing chaos in the society. But he was so powerful. The Puranas describe how he defeated all the demigods. Even he fought with Death himself, Yamaraj. Yamaraj could not defeat him. This way, Hiranyakashipu became mad, intoxicated with power. All the demigods prayed, help us. Then Bhagavan, I think Bhagavan said through Brahma, oh, don't worry, his time will come when he commits enough offenses to his saintly son, Prahlad. So sin couldn't, even Hiranyakashipu was so powerful. You hear in the prayers afterwards. Hiranyakashipu was so powerful, practically he took over all the running functions of the universe. He changed everything. If you did sin, you went to the heavenly planets. If you did good activities, you would go to the lower planets. Everything he changed. So much was his power. He was in charge of all mystic perfections. He would take the offerings of all the forefathers. He would take for himself. In this way, he considered himself like Bhagavan. Indeed, he ordered everyone, no more chanting Narayan, Hare Krishna. Anyone have to chant anything, then Hiranyakashipu ki jai, Hiranyakashipu ki jai. The Puranas describe even Narad Muni would have to go to the assembly of Hiranyakashipu and do pranam and jai Hiranyakashipu like this. Because so much power. So his son was born Prahlad. So his father put him in an education system. Generally, the guru of the demons is Sukracharya. Sukram, don't mind if I say, because today was some debate. What is a Brahmin? So they say Brahmin is by birth. Definitely, samskar from mother and father. There is something there also, but this is not the only thing. Therefore, those who believe birth is everything, karma is everything, these are the followers of seminal birth. These are the Sukracharyas, the demons, who believe birth is everything. But the Vaishnavas believe, no, bhakti is everything. We will hear Viprad Visadgun Yup Aravindana. Bhagavan, a Brahmin, may have all 12 Brahminical qualities, but no devotion to you. He is not dear to you. But a Chandal, a dog-eater who has devotion, he purifies him and his whole dynasty. He is very dear to. We will hear all these things. So Sukracharya had two sons, Sanda and Amarka. Amarka, Arka means sun. Amarka means no sun, darkness. And Sanda also means like that. Anda means like blind. Actually, Sanda means bull, Gurudev would say. Bull is very expert in two activities. 2 or 3 activities, Gurudev would say. Bull very expert in eating and passing stool. Gurudev in his own charming way say, bull when he passed, like cow past stool, this stool is like little firm. But bull is like a jet stream. So in India they say, when you are useless, they say you are as useless as a pile of bull dung. Means no benefit. So Sanda and Amarika, they began educating Prahlad in the demonic, materialistic sciences. These days, these sciences have become so expanded. Biology, chemistry, physics, geology, astronomy, who can count? The languages, mathematics, ecology, accounting, law, medicine. It is only connected with this world. Maharaj said today, what gives you two chapatis? The man with 5 PhDs who earns so many millions of dollars at the end of the day, how much spaghetti can he eat? How many rotis can he eat? Anyway, so these days, Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj said the modern education system, slaughterhouse, means because not teaching about devotion, killing the soul killers, not giving any real knowledge, any real happiness. So demonic theory based on all these things. So they taught Prahlad, but Prahlad Maharaj remained fixed because Prahlad Maharaj is one of the 12 Mahajans of the Vedas. Prahlad is also the guru of Smaranakya Bhakti. We have no too many troubles, right? But still we cannot remember Krishna. But Prahlad, in the midst of insurmountable problems, how he remained fixed in meditation of Krishna. So we tried to take Prahlad's mercy. One day we may also remember Krishna with his absorption, his nishta. So Prahlad went to Gurukul, but he did not allow these teachings to touch his heart. His heart remained fixed on the instructions of his Guru Padapadma Narad Rishi. When Prahlad came home from Gurukul, actually when Gurudev would go on his tour, Gurudev would always ask me to speak this on Prahlad's teachings. So I had nice opportunity. So what is the best thing, taking Prahlad on his lap with so much affection? No, Hiranyakasipu had so much affection for his son until his son became a devotee. Saraswati Thakur said, because the parents think that children will give me so much enjoyment and money and facility later. Therefore, they consider their children to be an object of their own enjoyment. So as long as Hiranyakasipu thought like that, he had so much affection for his son. When he saw his son's efforts were going toward the service of Bhagavan, then he became full of enmity, full of hatred for his son. Why all you're happy? You're giving all happiness to Bhagavan. What about? But anyway, with full affection, he took Prahlad, and actually Bhagavatam says with tears in his eyes, he said, Prahlad, tell me the best thing you learned from your gurus. Hiranyakasipu thinking of Sando Namaka, Prahlad thinking of his guru Narad Rishi. Tat sadhu manyaya sujavaja dehinam sada sunbali vigyat asakrihat itvatma patam griham andakupam vanam ganam yadam hari asraya. Oh Father, I learned this family life is like a deep, dark hole. Like sometimes we see a well becomes overgrown by grass. That grass looks very soft. But you go to lie on it, you fall in. Just like the opposite sex, no? For man that is woman and woman that is man, no? Opposite sex looks very nice. You think, oh, I will lie there, I will enjoy so much. But you go on that grass and you fall in, what you find? Nothing, only distress. And Guru Maharaj would tell the story. There was one man who was being chased by a lion. So he fell into such a dry hole, a dry well. So as he fell down, he grabbed hold of one tree branch that was growing from the side. So he looked down, that tree branch full of snake. The bottom of the well was full of poisonous cobras hissing, ready to take his life. Then he looked up. There was the tiger waiting to eat him. As he was shaking the branch, on the branch was a wasp's nest. a bee's nest. Hundreds of bees were stinging him, biting him. This gives so much distress. And two rats, one black and one white, were chewing the tree branch, which represented his lifespan. So Guru Maharaj said, the bee stings represent the miseries of this life. So every day we have so many troubles. The tax, the police, the neighbors, own family members, own parents, own children. Day and night, this trouble, that trouble. Death is up and death is down. And our lifespan, how long it lasts, every day it's going. But Guru Maharaj would say, despite such a precarious situation, from this bee's nest, some honey is dripping. How much? 1, 2 drops. So the man, the foolish materialist, he sticks his tongue out. And he gets 1 drop. Just tasting 1 drop, he forget everything. So Guru Maharaj was saying, this world, this happiness, the 1 drop of happiness is sex life. And for that, people tolerate and work like donkeys just for that 1 drop, forgetting all miseries of life. How hard we have to work for that. So Father, I learned real knowledge means to give that up, take full shelter of Hari. Banam Hari Masrayata. Go to the forest, especially the forests of Vrindavan, the forests of Mayapur. Otherwise, we go to the ordinary forest, your mind will go there. So this is knowledge. This is the best thing I learned. Give up everything, take shelter of Bhagavan. So when Hiranyakasipu heard this, he laughed. Sometimes, small children say very funny things. Sometimes children say things, even the children themselves don't know what they're saying. So Hiranyakasipu thought like that, laughed. Oh, thus the mind of the child is spoiled by the enemy. So he not gave too much importance to the child's words. So he called Sandra Namadaka. What's going on? Why my son is talking about devotional service to the enemy? Maybe some Vaishnavas are coming in disguise and contaminating his mind. Take care. Sandra Namadaka said, Gurudev, Maharaj, we are not teaching him this. So they said to Prahlad, who is teaching this devotional service to Krishna? He is our enemy. And Prahlad said, I give pranams to the illusory potency. I heard about it, but now I am seeing direct realization. We are all the family, one family. We all come from one father. But because of illusion, we think this is my friend, this is my enemy. I am seeing for the first time. So Sandra Namaka became very angry. They took sticks to threaten him. Don't speak any more of these things. Where he's getting this knowledge from, they discussed amongst themselves. Well, this knowledge comes from his own. Prahlad Maharaj said, like iron is attracted to magnet, my heart is always attracted to Lord Vishnu. So Sandhanamaka, being fearful of the punishment of Hiranyakasipu, took Prahlad back to school again. And again, they tried hard to indoctrinate him with all atheistic philosophies. Even Vedic studies without knowledge of Krishna Bhakti, this is also atheistic, materialistic. Krishna says, Veda Taguna Visayam. Mostly the Vedas deal with materialistic topics. So the demons may be very expert in even Vedic studies, but no devotion to Krishna, then their Vedic study is useless, like a dead body without life. Indeed, one may have all good qualities, but no devotion. This is also useless, like ornaments on a dead body. Prahlad went back to school again. He came back from some time. His father asked, Prahlad, what you learned this time, the best thing? Then Prahlad, he was always respectful to his father. He was never disrespectful, never rude, but he never hesitated to speak the truth. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur mentions, sometimes if our superiors give us some bad instruction, with great vinamrata, great respect and politeness, we should still not deviate from the truth and explain to them in a very polite way. So Prahlad Maharaj, he answered his father, what I learned? Matena Krishna Padato Svatova Mito Abhipadite Griha Bratanam Adamta Gobi Visatam Tamishram Puna Punas Chavita Chavananam Nata Vidu Swatikata Vishnu Durasaya Bihirat Maninas Andayatandi Upaniyama Tapi Ishitam Ikitantra Banda Bandana. Oh Father, how you will understand you are bound very tightly by the ropes of the three modes of nature. You are fiercely opposed to the service of Lord Vishnu. Therefore, you can only understand the external meanings of the scriptures. But what is external means? This world, you consider that very important. But you cannot understand the jiva's, the soul's real wealth, real happiness lies in the happiness of Krishna. When Krishna is happy, then only we become happy. Otherwise not. But you cannot understand. Your inclination towards Krishna cannot be awoken by your own efforts or by the efforts of others or a combination of the two, because you have no control of your senses. Therefore, your mind never runs to Krishna. No? You are like a person constantly chewing the chew. Guru Maharaj would give the example. Actually, Damodar Maharaj would give the example. Gogan Maharaj actually, he told, and I would tell this to Gurudev, and Gurudev would laugh so much. What does it mean, chewing the chew? There was a dog, somehow he found one very old bone. This bone was like 50 years old. So of course there was nothing on. So the dog very ferociously would chew this bone, and this bone would cut the jaws and lips of the dog. Like a camel chewing thorns, or the dog chewing this bone, he's drinking his own blood, and out of foolishness he thinks this is the juicy bone. Very good taste. But actually there was no taste, only suffering. And the other dogs saw this guy's got a bone. They began chasing this bone, this dog, biting him, scratching him. Especially you see in India, one dog being chased by 50 dogs. Actually, this morning I was going to yoga, really this morning. One dog was zooming and running like a lightning bolt. He ran right past me, and 6, 7 other dogs were chasing. So finally the dog released that bone, and he felt peace because the dogs left him. Another dog picked up the bone and he began running. Everyone chasing him. This is called chewing the chew. Again and again doing the same thing and actually that's the definition of madness. Again and again performing the same activity and expecting a different result. Like how many people marry, so much suffering, they marry again. What, do you think this time is going to be any different? Your karma is there, you cannot escape. No? So, chewing the chew. Nrsimha Caturdasi. What? You think? I have no sadhu sang, I have no guru? Yes, but Prahlad Maharaj said, your gurus are not niskinchan. They're full of desire. No, therefore, you not place the foot dust of any niskinchan Vaishnava on your head. Therefore, you never become free from anarthas, yet anartha pagamaha. You never became free from unwanted desires. You remain tightly bound in this world. Prahlad became silent. We are not like that. I know even sannyasis, gurus, they fear to give proper instruction to disciples because they think if I tell my disciple to give up all business and do bhajan, then best donation will come to me. Out of selfishness, they don't give proper instruction. But real Vaishnava have no self-interest. Always they speak what is true and good for them. But very rare to meet that type of Vaishnava in this world. That is very rare. Most people just looking what is good for me. How I can get so much enjoyment from the disciple. So Hiranyakasipu heard, become very angry. This child is my own son, but he is now deviated. Just like finger is connected to the hand, but if finger becomes gangrenous, infected, one should amputate the finger to save the body. This boy, these demons, we are like a forest of sandalwood. Vishnu is the axe, and this boy is like a thorn tree. A thorn tree the bubble tree is very hard. It makes a very strong handle. So Vishnu is the axe and his agent, that is this Prahlad. Together they are conspiring to destroy the sandalwood forest of the demons. Even though he is my son and should be loved, because he is now against me, he should be killed. Therefore he ordered his demons, kill the boy. They tried many ways to kill him, by fire. Oh, Maharaj spoke a bit about that tonight. By poison, by elephants, by snakes, by throwing him off cliffs, throwing him into the ocean, throwing him into the snow. Many ways they tried to finish him. But he was protected always by the hand of Vishnu. So he was saved. Hiranyakasipu, when he saw this child's strength, he thought this child's strength is unlimited. I have acted against him, therefore I will be destroyed. Sandanamaka said, Maharaj, don't worry, he's just like green bamboo. Green bamboo you can bend this way, that way. Don't worry. Again, put him to Gurukul. He's just a child. His mind will change. So again, he went to school. And Prahlad, of course, he has all good qualities. He was head student. All children loved him. One day the teachers left. They said, Prahlad, you can be in charge. As they say, when the cat is away, the mice will play. All the children began to play and be naughty. But Prahlad called them, no children. Now is time for bhajan. Children said, no, Prahlad, bhajan is when old age. When teeth fall out and you cannot enjoy anymore, that time is for bhajan. But Prahlad said, no, Komaram acharat pragyo dharmam bhagavatamiha. No, Bhagavad Dharma, this Prem Dharma, this Sanatan Dharma, this Bhagavad Dharma, this Bhakti Yog, this should be practiced from Komara, from 5 years old. So don't put faith in the future. Therefore, one should begin now. How to begin? Prahlad, and Prahlad give many, many instructions on the horrors of materialistic life. Especially even though Prahlad is only 5, how much he spoke against sex desire, how much he spoke in his instructions. This sex desire is like an itch, like a scratch. In the beginning, that scratching may give some feeling of happiness, but in the end, you have to keep scratching. Then that scratching become a source of distress. Srila Gokmaj would say, 5 minutes you enjoy sexual happiness, but then you have to suffer 20 years, 30 years from the children and all these other things. So Prahlad Maharaj said, instead of scratching the senses rubbing on each other, the sober person simply tolerates. After all, the materialist, his mind and heart full of thoughts of wife and children, how he remember Krishna in the time of death. And death is coming for everyone. How long we live, even if we have a lifespan of 100 years, 10 years we lose in childhood, in nappies and all that stuff. 20 years we lose in old age. 8 hours a day we sleep. There's 30 years lost in sleep. In childhood, children sleep, I've heard 15, 20 hours a day. So many years lost in sleep, then school, education, matriculation, 10 years lost in that rubbish. 20 years lost in old age. How many years you have left? 10, 15? Those 10 or 15 years, you're going to marry, you become expert in getting some business together, growing and educating your children. Then where's time left for bhajan? Oh, Prahlad, what is bhajan? Guru Susu Sayabak Sabra Labdapanena Cha. Once bhajan begins from surrendering fully to Gurudev, giving up all independence and offering him whatever you have, body, mind, and words, what you have, use for the service of Gurudev. And what Gurudev will give us the association of the Vaishnavas. Gurudev will teach us how to do Vaishnav Sangha. Vaishnava Sangha Sangena Ishwara Aradhanena Cha, Prahlad Maharaj. And the Vaishnavas will teach you how to worship Bhagavan by hearing and chanting. So all children began Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Maharaj said tonight's class Before it was only one Prahlad, then become hundreds and thousands. Sometimes the Bhagavad Saptah Maharaj says, Sun and market come, Prahlad, stop it. They grab Prahlad, they also began Haribol, Haribol. Such was the influence of Prahlad. When Hiranyakasipu heard all this, do you think he became happy? Very unhappy. Greatly angry, he came to Prahlad, oh Abhaga, unfortunate one. He took his sword. Where you get your strength? Prahlad said, the same place you get your strength from, Father. Hiranyakasipu said, I cannot see him. You are always talking about an omnipotent, omniscient Bhagavan. Where is he? I cannot see him. Prahlad said, perhaps you need to change your glasses. Premanjana Churutea Bhakti Vilochana. If you decorate your eyes with this salve, the ointment of prema, love of Krishna, you can see him everywhere, inside and outside of everything. So Hiranyakasipu, very angry. Is he in this pillar? Prahlad said, yes, because he's Uttam Bhagavat. No? Bhagavat Bhavanatmanaha. He sees with Bhagavat Bhav everything. Means in simple language, he sees Ishtadev. He sees Krishna everywhere, in everything. So Prahlad, yes, he is there. With great anger, Hiranyakasipu struck that pillar with his fist. I have not been there, but I heard that pillar which he struck, that is in South India. I have not been there. I think it's called Avalohan something. I have not been to South India for 20 years or something. So that place is there. Some say it was the heavenly planets. In different yugas, maybe different kata, different kalpas, sorry. With great anger, he struck his fist onto that pillar. And from that pillar came a huge noise. A very wonderful creature emerged. Who was that? Nrsimha, Narahari. Nrsimha. Nara means human. Singha means lion. Half man, half lion. Hiranyakasipu thought, what is this strange form of Vishnu? Anyhow, no matter what disguise he took, today I'll finish him. There was a huge fight between Hiranyakasipu and Bhagavan. Actually, they fought for thousands of years. Thousands of years. Sometimes it looked even like Hiranyakasipu would finish him. So finally, the demigods, everyone played, please finish this demon. So like Garuda pounces on a snake, in one flash, Bhagavan took Hiranyakasipu on his lap and went to finish him with his fingernails, which were sharp like chisels. Hiranyakasipu said, no, I cannot be killed. Why not? Have some benedictions of Lord Brahma. Bhagavan may have said, what benedictions? I cannot be killed in the day or in the night. What's the time? Hiranyakasipu looked. Here today, sunset is 6:13. So 6:30, sunset, Sandhya. Sandhya is not day or night. But I cannot be killed in the ground or in the sky. Where you look nicely? Where am I? I'm in your lap. The lap is not the ground or the sky. I cannot be killed inside or outside. So Bhagavan moved him to the doorway. I cannot be killed by any weapon. Bhagavan said, it's not a weapon, it's my fingernails. Right? Even when you go to airport security, they don't pull out all your fingernails. Fingernails not considered a weapon. And fingernail, like hair, is not considered living or dead. So I cannot be killed by any man or human. Look nicely. Am I man or human? Hiranyakasipu said, you're a bit of a 50-50. Half man, half animal. I cannot be killed by anything in the creation of Brahma. Then Bhagavan smiled, I am not part of the creation. I am beyond the creation. I cannot be killed in 12 months of the year. Therefore, Bhagavan made a new month, Purushottam month. That is cannot explain that now, but in English we say, I feel sorry for the Chinese translating, 30 days have September, April, June, and November. All the rest have 31 except February, which has 28 in a leap year. Something like that. So every 2.5 years, an extra month is made. That is Purushottam. So Bhagavan said, I'm not killing you in the 12 months of the year. This is an extra year, a leap year. And saying that, he tore him to pieces. Sri Jayadev Goswami says, Tavakara Kamale Varam Nakam Adbhuta Shingham. How astonishing. Normally the wasp tears the lotus, but today the lotus means the lotus hands of Nrsimhadev tearing apart the wasp-like body of Hiranyakasipu. And with great anger, Hiranyakasipu took out his intestines. Bhagavan took out the intestines of Hiranyakasipu and put around his neck like a garland. Then covered in blood, he cast the body of Hiranyakasipu down aside, and full of anger, he began roaring. So all the demigods like Brahma, Shiva, Lakshmi, they had never seen Bhagavan like this. So angry. His anger here is not considered a fault. It's a great quality of Bhagavan. He has so much affection for his devotee. Therefore, he feels so angry at Prahlad Maharaj's mistreatment. Therefore, his anger is a quality. Bhakta Vatsalya is so affectionate towards his devotee. Govinda Maharaj would say, if someone abused your mother and you did not become angry, it means you have no love for your mother. So anger is a symptom of love. So Bhagavan Nrsimhadev is so angry. All the demigods had never seen him like this. They felt fear. Therefore, all demigods requested Prahlad to pacify the Lord. So Prahlad had no fear at all. Fully surrendered devotee. He went to Bhagavan. Bhagavan saw him, his heart melted. He picked Prahlad and began to lick. Like a lion licks a cub, full of parental affection. That time Gogamad said, who felt more happiness? Prahlad being licked or Bhagavan Nrsimhadev doing the licking? Prahlad Maharaj felt more happiness being the recipient of the parental affection of Bhagavan. For that reason, all of future incarnations, Bhagavan accepted a parent to taste that affection. Even though Bhagavan was covered by the intestines of his father, his mane, golden mane, white mane was flecked with blood. Prahlad felt no disgust, no fear. So Bhagavan became peaceful and very full of affection. He said, Prahlad, I am very pleased. Take a benediction. Prahlad offered many wonderful prayers. You can read. Actually, little Sita from Kemerova, if you go to her page, you see all the prayers of Prahlad Maharaj there in English. After this class, I'll copy paste there all the prayers of Prahlad Maharaj. She went to that effort. You can read that. But in essence, Bhagavan asked, I'm very satisfied, take a benediction. Bhagavan said, I am not a Prahlad said, I am not a businessman serving you for something. So if you are asking me to take a benediction, it must mean that you think I have some material desire. Therefore, if you want to give me a benediction, then bless me, that I may have no material desire. Prahlad Maharaj said, Bhagavan said, Prahlad, you already have no desire. Therefore, I'm requesting you, take a benediction. I want. Prahlad said, okay, my father must have committed unlimited offenses to you. Please forgive him. When Bhagavan heard this, he became astonished. And he said, oh, Prahlad, when such a Mahabhagavat like you has appeared in this dynasty, then he liberates, if I'm not mistaken, 24 generations, or is it 21 generations? If you have a child who becomes a Mahabhagavat, then 21 generations of forefathers in the future and in the past are liberated. If one becomes a Madhyamadikari, he delivers 14 generations. If one can become a good Kanishtadikari, he delivers 7 generations. So Bhagavan said, Prahlad, he gave birth to such a great child like you, then what's the question of him receiving an inauspicious destination? He is already liberated. So Prahlad, I am requesting you for my happiness, take a benediction. Then famous prayer of Prahlad Maharaj, O Lord, I have no anxiety, no desire. I have no distress, no unhappiness. I have no unfulfilled thoughts, no unfulfilled plans. Because wherever I am, I can remember you and taste unlimited happiness. But Lord, my heart bleeds for the fools and rascals who have forgotten you. Therefore, give me the benediction. I will take all their sins and go to hell, and all of them can achieve you. When Bhagavan heard that, his heart melted. Lord, how was it going? Bhagavan began to weep, seeing the qualities of his devotee. Even Bhagavan thought, I never thought like that. Because Bhagavan created heaven and hell, devotee not created. Bhagavan became astonished when he see the magnanimity of Prahlad Maharaj. Otherwise, Bhagavan not astonished by the qualities of a devotee, then why Bhagavan would become attracted and controlled by it? Therefore, Krishna says, with reason, with feeling, Mad Bhakta Pujadikam, my devotee is more than me, more worshipful than me. In this regard, Saraswati Thakur says, Prahlad Maharaj is millions of times even more gracious than Lord Jesus Christ. Because Lord Jesus Christ promised to take the sins of those who followed him. But Prahlad agreed to take the sins of everyone, whether they follow him or not. So Hiranik Bhagavan said, how is that possible? You will go to hell. I cannot give such a benediction. But instead, I give the benediction of anyone who hears this pastime. They will come to me. So by the grace of Prahlad Maharaj, we get this opportunity. One time in Baja, Gurudev would always do Baja. This day, Gurudev would always be in Baja for this day. So in the beginning, one time, in the beginning, he asked, all were sitting there, then he asked me, was Hiranyakasipu a great devotee or a great demon? And he pointed to me, you answer. So I remember I said, Gurudev, why are you asking me? Because if I say he was a great devotee, you'll say he's a great demon. And if I say he's a great demon, you'll just say he's a great devotee. So better I don't say anything. And Gurudev really began to laugh, because I guess he's mine. And he was going, no. I said, yes, I know you were going to do that. And really, he was laughing. I remember that very nicely. So really, Hiranyakasipu, he is associate of Bhagavan. Otherwise, who can be absorbed in the Lord like that? So only the devotee can become the best demon also. Otherwise, the enemy means like equal. Anyway, so we do not misunderstand the mission of Hiranyakasipu. And there's so much also show the glories of Prahlad Maharaj. All this Katha is there in 7th canto because Yudhisthira Maharaj asked the question to Narad, is partiality a great fault? Is Bhagavan, but we see Bhagavan always partial to the demigods? To answer this doubt of Yudhisthira, Narad Muni said no. Because sometimes even a devotee appear in the dynasty of demons, then Bhagavan also favor him so much. Therefore, conclusion is what attracts Bhagavan? Maharaj was saying, not wealth, beauty, knowledge, high birth, austerities. Only one thing attracts him, a mood of non-duplicitous service, loving devotion, bhakti. So Prahlad Maharaj showed this tattva. Even though he born in family of demons, he is Param Vaishnava, Supreme Mahabhagavat. Therefore, like Bhagavan is independent, Bhakti Devi is also independent because Bhagavan's own Shakti, own potency. She appears in the heart of anyone. She does anyone who surrenders to her. Bhakti Devi can appear in that heart, fully independent she is. And that person becomes worshipful as the Supreme Lord. So all these glories of Bhagavan, Bhakti, and the Bhakta is all there in this Katha. So anyway, very nice day we had today. I'm sure everyone had a good day. So we'll finish here. It's a little late here. I'm sorry for giving this second class. I had no idea until like an hour before class I saw Maharaj would give class. Otherwise, I would not have bothered to give a second class, but because it was already announced, then I had to do it. So what we say is, Jai Bhagavan Nrsimha Dev Ki Jai. Sri Bhakta Prabha Bhakti Baba means best of the bhaktas. Bhakti Baba, Shri Prahlad Maharaj ki jai. Jai Anant Koti Gaur Bhakti Brind ki jai. Go Premanande.
Hari Hari Bol.
Okay, thank you very much.
Haribol, Gurudev.
Thank you, Gurudev.
Are there any questions?
Haribol.
Dandavat Pranam, Maharaji.
Okay.
不好意思，今天的翻译有一点点。
You're muted, Gurudev.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, yes.
Does that mean the whole class, no one could hear me?
No, just now it turned off.
Just now, because everybody started to talk, so I had to do something.
Imagine that. That would be devastating. No? Whole class, no one heard. But I did it on Facebook at the same time. Okay, Meg from Taiwan, could we do the translation in Chinese?